Charlotte's Birthday by Violet Grace Lucille Walton, May 2020. It was the 14th of March. That day is my birthday. The sun sparkled upon the grass in the garden. I jumped out of my bed with excitement. Neve and Shirley were already up, and Neve was trying to explain to Shirley that flies have lots of eyes, but Shirley just didn't understand. She had it in her own mind that flies actually have 2 eyes. "Good morning," I said. "Happy birthday, Charlotte," said Neve and Shirley. I turned round and saw that the boys were not in their beds. "Where are the boys?" I asked. "I don't know," said Neve. "They weren't here when we woke up, were they, Shirley?" "No," said Shirley. "They were not." So Neve, Shirley and I got our party dresses on and skipped happily down the stairs. Mummy was in the kitchen washing up. "Good morning, girls," said Mummy as she took the washing up gloves off. She came over and hugged me. "Happy birthday," she said. Then Daddy came in with his shoes and coat on. "I'm off to work now," he said, "and I hope you have a great birthday, Charlotte." So with a goodbye hug, he was off to work. "Mum," I said, "where are the boys?" "The boys," said Mummy, "the boys are outside in the big sad garden doing something with paint. I don't know exactly what they're doing." Daddy was up quite early with them doing something secretly. The sound of hammering woke me up, but I'm afraid I don't know exactly what they're doing it for. "Well, if they're doing something secret for Charlotte, I have to join in," said Neve, heading straight for the door. "No, Neve," said Mummy. "I think whatever they're doing is just for the boys and Daddy to know about. They probably thought that if they woke you up, you'll get into a mood." "Yes," I agreed. "Okay, Mummy." "Okay, Mum," said Neve, "but maybe Shirley and I can do something for Charlotte together then." "Well," said Mummy, "the boys should be back any moment now." "Yes," I said. "I think that I can hear the door." Then the boys came rushing in. Mummy looked at Hector, Lawrence and Bernie's best party clothes. There were splodges of purple, pink, yellow and white paint on them. "Oh dear," she said, "only if you hadn't put your party clothes on before you went out." And she sent them upstairs to put some clean party clothes on. When the boys came back down, I just couldn't wait to see what my presents were. "Can I open my presents now?" I asked. "Of course," said Mummy. "Let's go into the living room and Charlotte can open her presents." So everybody went into the living room. And I stood there for a moment and gazed all around with happiness. On the walls there were posters that I had made. The posters said, Happy 11th birthday, Charlotte," on them, with pictures of balloons, birthday cakes and presents, and 11 candles. On the floor was a pile of presents, all wrapped in pink butterfly wrapping paper. On the table, set up with beautiful forget-me-not plates, teacups and saucers with silver around the edge, was a big plate with lots of Mummy's best homemade pancakes on. There was cream, Mummy's homemade blueberry jam and butter too. That was my birthday breakfast that I chose to have. Everybody crowded round me while I opened all my cards. There was one from everyone and I very much liked them. Then I picked up a present. It felt like a flat square. I carefully unwrapped it and found lying on the open wrapping paper was a CD. A Mozart one. I quickly ran over to the CD player, put the CD in and turned it on. The first piece sounded like very jolly birthday music. I sat back down on the floor. At the bottom was a big box-shaped present. On top of it was a medium-sized present, but I couldn't work out what shape it was. Next to that one, on top of the big one, was a very flat rectangle. And on top of that one was another medium-sized square. Next to the big one at the bottom was another big one, but it is not easy to describe the shape. On top of that one was another flat one, which to me looked like a book. "Are you going to open another present, Charlotte?" exclaimed Hector, who was sitting on the sofa next to Mummy and Neve. All the little ones were too excited to sit down. They were either running around the room or playing hide and seek behind the curtains. "Okay," I said, and I picked up the medium-sized square. It didn't make a noise when I shook it, and it wasn't light. I tore off the wrapping paper and found that right in front of me was a set of beautiful bird and flower fabric. It was just what I wanted, fabric. I picked up the medium-sized present next to it and got the wrapping paper off. It was a lovely pencil case. It was a nice big one, and I was wanting a new pencil case because the zip on my old one was still a bit broken. I put it to the side where all my other presents were. Next, I picked up the very flat one. I wondered what such present that one could be. When I had taken off the wrapping paper, there in my hands was a transparent package. What I saw through the package was a bit of light blue paper, about half the size of normal paper. It had pink and white roses at the top. "A letter writing set!" I cried. "Just what I wanted!" I put it with all my other presents. Then I looked at the big present, held my breath and pulled the wrapping off. It was Playmobil. On the front of the box was a picture of a children's bedroom. It had a girl, a boy, a bunk bed, a doll, an orange teddy, a desk, a little bike, a chair and a backpack. "Yippee!" I shouted. Neve, Hector, Lawrence, Shirley and Bernie all wanted to play with it. They helped me to put it all together and set it up. But the problem was that there were only 2 characters but 6 people. In the end, it was decided that only I should play with both of the characters, and Mummy allowed everyone else to get 1 or 2 of their Playmobil people each, and we could all play together now with a Playmobil person. But I really do think that playing with new people is much nicer than having to play with your usual Playmobil people. And the other good thing about getting new Playmobil people is that you get to name them. I named the girl Lily and the boy John. We had fun playing while Mummy got Norma to sleep. After playing for an hour, Neve said, "Charlotte, you've got 2 more presents to open." But before I could answer, I caught a glimpse of Hector winking at Lawrence. "And so I have," I said. "Mummy," I called, "I'm going to open my other presents now." "Okay," said Mummy, "but aren't you wanting breakfast yet?" "Oh yes," I said. "I forgot about breakfast. Let's have breakfast before I open my other 2 presents." So we all sat down and enjoyed our pancakes. They were not warm anymore because of all we had been doing, but they were delicious anyway. When we had finished our breakfast, I went straight to opening my last presents. I took the book-shaped present off the big present and tore off the wrapping. It was not a reading book, it was a sketch pad. I wanted a new sketch pad, I exclaimed. Oh, said Mummy, I forgot to tell you. Tell me what? I asked. Well, started Mummy, look in your new pencil case. So I picked up my new pencil case from the pile of presents and opened it. When I looked in it, I found lots of different coloured pencils. Straight away, I started sketching. I sketched a picture of all my presents. My letter writing set, my pencil case, the playable box, some of my pencils, fabric and my Mozart CD. I also drew a picture of me and I have a big, very big smile on my face. Do you want to open your last present, Charlotte? Mummy asked me. Yes, please, I answered. I picked up my last present and carefully pulled off the wrapping. I found on the floor in front of me a beautiful pink and purple and white bundle. A new dress, I cried, and I walked out of the room into my bedroom, and when I came back I was wearing my new dress, which had a bit to put around the back and tie into a bow. It also had a frilly bit at the bottom. Neve was just about to tidy up the wrapping paper that my new dress was wrapped up in when she spotted something in it. Oh, Charlotte, she said, I think there's another present here. I ran over to the present with excitement. Oh, I cried. There was still something there. It was a matching pink and purple and white necklace. I put it on, but I had a feeling there was another present somewhere. I looked in the wrapping, and there was another thing. It was a beautiful matching pink and purple and white flower clip. Oh, I cried and put it on. Are we going down to the river yet, Mummy? Hector asked. Oh yes, said Mummy. Shall we go now, Charlotte? Okay, I said. So we all got our shoes and coats on and went outside. We walked all the way to the river. We walked beside the river and dabbled our feet in until it was time to go. On the way home, Mummy gave us a chocolate biscuit to munch on. It was very tasty and very chocolatey. When we got home, Mummy said, Right then everyone, it is time to go to paper string and everything now. I'll just get the party food ready and stuff like that. So Neve, Hector, Lawrence, Shirley, Bernie and I played out in the garden until Mummy had finished getting the party food, tablecloths, bunting and balloons ready. But before we actually set off, I quickly ran upstairs and grabbed a bag that I made myself and put my new sketch pad and my new pencil case and pencils in the bag. I might like to do some drawing, I thought to myself. I put my nice sparkly pink and white shoes on and went back out and joined the others. I skipped up the path with my pink and purple and white dress, necklace and clip-on. When we got to paper string and everything, we went inside and walked up the stairs and into the hall. We found a ladder and hung the bunting up, which was all very colourful. Then we got the spare tables, which were in the corner, and put them neatly by the side of the room where the door was, because the rest of the room would be for dancing and playing games and for sitting and eating. Then I helped Mummy display all the food nicely on plates on the tables, while all my other brothers and sisters ran around the place and kicked balloons around the place. Ran around and kicked the hall and kicked balloons around the place. Soon all the guests started to arrive. First, Auntie Ivy, Auntie Rosabel and their families. Then came Auntie Eva and her family with a bundle of birthday paper chains. We all hung the paper chains up, and soon Auntie B and her family arrived. Margaret Mary, who is my best friend, came up to me while I was pouring myself some of Mummy's best homemade lemonade. And she held out a little gift wrapped in blue and purple and pink wrapping paper. "Thank you," I exclaimed, unwrapping the present. I found there was quite a big drawstring bag made of beautiful fabric with the most lovely pattern on. I opened it, and inside it were some lovely doll's clothes, just the right size for my doll, Ella. "Oh, I was just hoping I'd get some doll's clothes for my birthday. Thank you, Margaret Mary. Did you make them?" "I made some of them," she said. "Everyone else made the rest. It's a present from all of us." "Which ones did you make?" I asked. "I made the dress that's white with the red spots on and the dark red ribbon at the bottom and the top. I also made the flounce skirt." "Lovely," I said. "Oh," said Margaret Mary, "I also made the blue t-shirt with the green liney pattern on." "Lovely," I said again. Would you like lemonade?" "Ooh, yes, please," she answered. So I poured Margaret Mary some lemonade, and we found some chairs stacked up in the corner. We took two of the chairs and sat down on them in the middle of the room. "It is a pity I didn't bring Ella," I said. "We could have tried the clothes on her." "Yes," agreed Margaret Mary, "but you could try the clothes on her when you get home." "I suppose I can," I said, but really I wanted to dress Ella with Margaret Mary. "Happy birthday, Charlotte!" I heard a voice from behind me. I turned around. "Oh, hello, Geneva," I said. "Here's a present for you, Charlotte," she said, handing a present to me. "It's from all of us." "Thank you," I said, and took the present. "Do you want to come and sit with us, Geneva?" I asked. "Yes, please," she said, and she got a chair and put it next to mine. "Charlotte," Margaret Mary said, "what presents did you get from your mummy and daddy?" "Yes, what did you get?" said Geneva. "Well," I started, "I got this dress I'm wearing now and the matching necklace and clip I'm also wearing now. A Mozart CD, a sketch pad, a Playmobil bedroom set, a new pencil case with coloured pencils in. What else did I get? Ah, I know! I got a letter writing set and some fabric. And as you know, I got the presents from you two." "Oh yes, and I actually need to open the present from you, Geneva." So first I opened the card. It had the number 11 on it, with flowers around the place, and I read the inside. "Thank you," I said. Then I opened the present, which was wrapped in red and blue wrapping paper with little white flowers on. It was a flattish, wooden, reddy brown box. I took off the lid and found that it was a box with lots of different sized parts in it. "Ooh," I said. "Thank you." So Margaret Mary, Geneva and I sat and chatted about all kinds of things and had another cup of lemonade. sometime, Mummy told everyone to be quiet. Okay, now everyone, we're going to play a game of musical statues, she said rather loudly. So everyone got up and moved their chairs to the side so there'll be enough space to dance. I hope I win this game, Margaret Mary said to me and Geneva. But so do I said back. So do I, though, said Geneva. Mummy put some music on and we all started dancing. I did quite very well for the first 4 stops, and so did Margaret Mary and Geneva. But on the 5th time, Mummy paused the music, and I somehow landed on only one leg on my tiptoes. I tried my hardest to keep still, but it was useless, for I soon lost my balance. I wobbled, and I just couldn't help putting my other leg down on the floor. So I just walked over to the corner of the room where John, Shirley, Holly and Ivy, Martha, Michael and of course Felix were. When musical statues was over, Margaret Mary came up to me. Hello, I said. Do you know who won the game? Yes, she said. I won. Oh, really? I said. Yes, said Margaret Mary, and I got this colouring book. It was a prize. She showed me a very nice colouring book. Oh, I said, I remember going to the shop and choosing that colouring book. That colouring book should be the prize. It's a shame that we don't have any pens to colour right now, isn't it, Charlotte? Yes, I said. Oh, but hang on a moment, Margaret Mary. I brought my new coloured pencils with me. We can use those to colour. Good, said Margaret Mary. Well, why don't you go and get them? Yes, I said. So I went over to the table and picked up my bag from underneath it. That is where I put it when I came into the hall. I carried it over to Margaret Mary and put it down on the floor. There, I said. So Margaret Mary and I spent the next half an hour colouring, which was quite a long time. I was colouring a fairy's dress pink when Mummy called out, "Food time!" So we stopped colouring and said grace. Then I went over to the table and looked at all the food. There was ham, bacon crisps, cranberry and apricot cheese, meatballs, tomatoes, tuna, dark chocolate, biscuits and cakes, which Auntie Rosabelle had made. I had every single thing. I sat on the floor next to Miriam, Thomas and Shirley. "Happy birthday, Charlotte," said Miriam and Thomas. "Thank you," I said. "You can open this card for me if you want, Charlotte," said Miriam. "Mummy has got the present though." So I opened the envelope, which was stuck together with a butterfly sticker, and pulled the card out. On the front of it was a picture of a blue flower with "Happy Birthday" in the middle of the flower, with lots of tiny butterflies and bees around it. I read the inside. This is what it said. "Dear Charlotte, happy birthday. Hoping you have a great day and lots of good presents and food. We hope that you like the presents from us. May God bless you on this special day. With much love, from Auntie Rosabelle, Uncle John, Joseph, Martha, Miriam, Sandra, Holly, Ivy and Bert." "Nice," I said. "Thank you, Miriam." And I put the card back in its envelope and in my bag. "Yum, yum," said Thomas. "Have you girls tried these cupcakes? They're delicious." "Yes," I said. "I've just had one and they're really good." "Me too," said Shirley. "You know that my mummy made them," said Miriam. "She loves cooking. Sometimes I help." "I know that," said Thomas. "Do you know if there will be any more party games, Charlotte?" "I think there's going to be pass the parcel." But what do you think will be in all the layers? Miriam asked. I said. I'm not exactly sure. Well, we'll see, said Thomas, and went to join another group of boys helping themselves to tomatoes, chocolate, biscuits and cake. Charlotte, said Miriam, yesterday I made a skirt all by myself. I made a bit of a mess of cutting the pieces of fabric though, but it didn't matter because I hemmed it. I'm not wearing it now because I'm wearing my party clothes. Cool, I said. Sometimes I make skirts. Once I even helped Mummy make a dress with paper string and everything. And in the winter, I knit woolly socks and woolly scarves too. Hello, you two, said Martha and Joseph, coming up to us. Oh, hello, I said. Happy birthday, Charlotte, they said. Here's the presents from just us two. They gave me a present, strangely wrapped. Thank you, I exclaimed. I tore off the paper. They were a set of bookmarks with my name on, a red heart clip, a brooch with the number 11 on, and a cardboard frame decorated with gem stickers and glitter globe with a piece of blank paper in the middle. You can draw whatever you like on the paper, Martha told me. Thank you very much, I said. I think I'll go and see if there are any more bacon crisps. I really like them. And so I walked to the food tables and checked if there were any of the bacon crisps left. There were some, but not that many. So I took a few, not all of them, because someone else might like them too. I also got a biscuit and I went over to Auntie Ivy to say hello. Happy birthday, she said when she saw me. Thank you very much for the doll's clothes, Auntie Ivy, I said. You're very welcome, she said. I hope you will enjoy dressing your doll in them. I'm sure I will, I said, and then I went over to Auntie Rosabelle. Hello, Auntie Rosabelle, I said to her, who was in the middle of talking to Auntie Eva. Hello, Charlotte, happy birthday. Oh, and here's a present for you. Thank you, Auntie Rosabelle, I said, and I took the present off her. I sat down on a chair next to Margaret Mary, who was still chatting to Geneva. I opened the present. It was a beautiful mug with a rabbit and lots of colourful flowers on. Just then, Ned came up to me with a spoonful of tuna in his little chubby hands. Rabba, Rabba, he said, spotting the rabbit on my new mug. Yes, it's a rabbit, isn't it, Ned? I said, picking him up. I was just examining my new box to see how many parts were in it. There were 10. When Mummy called out, "Who wants to play pass the parcel?" I did, so I put my box down and sat in a circle in the middle of the room with everyone. I sat in between John and Francis, with Bernie on my knee. When everyone who wanted to play had sat down, Mummy gave me the big parcel and she put some music on. I passed it to Francis and she passed it to Neve and she passed it to Felix and he passed it to Sandra and she passed it to Gregory and so on. The music stopped at Thomas and he got a Playmobil boy. The next one stopped at Geneva and she got a Playmobil girl. Another next up, it was Shirley who got a Playmobil boy. And she was really not happy about getting a boy one. She wanted a girl. It stopped at me once and I got a Playmobil girl. It ended up that everyone got a Playmobil person. At last, Pass the Parcel finished. It was Michael who won, and the prize was a pair of stripy green and white socks and a bird kite which was blue. John went up to Shirley. She was grumping about because she had got a Playmobil boy and not a Playmobil girl. "Shirley," John said, Do you want to swap, Playable People? I got a girl one, and I would much prefer that boy you got. Shirley stopped grumping. Yes, please, she said. So they swapped Playable People, and everyone was happy again. I went to Margaret Mary. Hello, she said. Can you help me colour this picture of lots of butterflies? Yes, please, I said. So we both did some more colouring. When I had had enough of colouring, I decided to play a game of hide and seek with Miriam, Joseph, Felix, Neve, Francis, Michael, Thomas and Hector. Miriam was the seeker. I'll count to 50, all right? Then she started counting. 1, 2, 3. I headed for the curtain, but Felix was already hiding there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I decided to hide under a chair, which had a big coat on, but I could still be seen. It wasn't hiding me enough. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I went over to a big bin thing which was empty. But when I stepped in it, there seemed to be a load of water in it. I don't know why, but my right leg, which I had put in the big bin thing, was wet anyway. 21, 22, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I had to quickly dry myself. I dashed out of the hall, down the stairs and into the bathroom. I grabbed a towel from the shelf and rubbed my leg and foot dry. Then, although my leg was still a bit wet, I ran out of the bathroom. I went up the stairs and into the hall. Oops! That wasn't the hall, that was the art gallery. I quickly went out and went through another door. Good, this room was the hall. Miriam was still counting. 41, 42, 43, 44. Oh no, I cried. For she was nearly at 50. I looked around. Aha, I knew where to hide. There was a row of stacked up chairs. I can hide under there, I thought to myself. So I went over to the chairs and squeezed under them. Then I covered myself up with a few coats which were on the chairs, hoping that I looked like a pile of coats. 48, 49, 50, said Miriam. Ready or not, here I come, she shouted. From under the pile of coats, I could hear all sorts of noises. Grown-ups chattering, balloons popping, children playing, and Miriam's voice. Found you, Neve. I just stayed where I was, listening to all the noise in the dark under the pile of coats, under the row of chairs. I was pretty sure I was in a very good place now, because I could hear Miriam say to somebody, Joseph, do you know where Charlotte is? And he answered, No, I don't know where Charlotte is. I waited and waited, but nobody found me. It was tiring having to be really still and quiet. And I was just about to give up when... Found you, Charlotte, said Miriam, taking the coats off me and plonking them back on the chairs. I've been looking for you everywhere. I stood up. I looked around. None of the grown-ups were in the hall anymore, and none of the lights were on. Why is it all so dark? I asked Miriam. Well, said Miriam, I think it's birthday cake time, but I really don't know why most of the people have gone. Just then, Mummy came in. She turned the lights on. When she saw me, she seemed very happy. Oh, Charlotte, she exclaimed, where have you been? All the aunties and I have been looking everywhere in paper string and everything. Oh, Mummy, I said, I've just been hiding under a pile of coats because we were playing hide and seek. Well, it's birthday cake time. And then we have one more game and go home. So everybody sat down round the tables, which had all been cleared, and everyone had a plate and a party hat. Then all the lights turned off again, and Mummy went out of the room. When she came back in, everyone started singing, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Charlotte, happy birthday to you." I blew out all 11 of my candles and everyone said, 11 hip hip hoorays. Then I carefully picked up the knife and cut a piece. It was a bit too big, so I had that one. Then I cut pieces for everyone else. It was a carrot cake. I really like carrot cakes, and it doesn't stop me from liking carrot cakes even if Hector says, "Well, chocolate cakes are much nicer." When everyone was full of birthday cake, we cleared the table and it was time for the last game. It was a game when everyone has a hook on a stick and they have to try and get all the ducks. We're going to play that whoever gets most ducks wins. Mummy pulled the big bin thing of water over to the middle and put loads of ducks with hooks on their backs into it. So that's what the big bin thing's for, I thought to myself. Mummy gave everyone a stick with a hook on and we all started hooking the ducks onto our sticks. Luckily for me, I was right at the front, and in front of me in the water were the most ducks. It seemed as if I had a magic stick. It was always getting the ducks straight away. I kept count of ducks and counted them every so often, just in case they fall in the water or get mixed up with anyone else's, like what Mummy used to do if they're in a place with lots of people and if they have lots of children to keep an eye on, and she has to count her children every so often. And once my ducks got mixed up with Geneva's, so wasn't it lucky that I kept count of them, or we wouldn't have known whose was whose. It was a long game, but it did end. And guess who won? I won! I was very pleased indeed. The prize was a Doll's House sticker book, and I was happy to get a Doll's House sticker book because all my other ones had run out of stickers. But there was not any time to do any of it with Margaret Mary because all the families needed to get home to their dinners and we all had to tidy up. So I helped with clearing the table, stacking up chairs, mopping up puddles of water, scooping up bits of food and gathering up all my birthday presents. Then Mummy asked me to change Ned's nappy, so I had to do that as well. When the hall was exactly like before the party, I said goodbye and thank you for my presents to all my friends. Then Mummy, all my brothers and sisters and I met Daddy and we all walked out of paper string and everything, and we walked happily home in the late afternoon sun. When we got home, we all went inside. I took off my sparkly party shoes and ran straight up to my bedroom. I grabbed my doll Ella, who was sitting on my bed. Then I went back downstairs and into the living room where all my presents were. I took off Ella's normal clothes and put a nice pink dress with blue roses on her. Then, when I was just about to set up my new Playmobil in a different way that it was like. Mummy came in. "Charlotte, you've got another present." "As Daddy says," she said. "It's outside though." "Ooh," I said, wondering what kind of a present it might be if it was outside. We all took off our socks. We all took our socks off because we thought it might be nice to have some barefoot time. And we went out of the door. I followed everyone to the big side garden, which has a nice big space in the middle for running around. When I saw what the present was, I stared right in front of me. I just could not believe my eyes, for there, standing right in front of me, was a kind of small house. It seemed to be made of wood, with walls, a roof, and even a little door made out of wood. I couldn't believe that Daddy had really made it. Well, at least I think that Daddy had made it. Of course he did, because he makes things out of wood. And it was about as big as the downstairs bathroom. I walked round it. There were square-shaped holes for windows, with kind of little roofy bits on top of them. Then came the moment when I might go in. I carefully pushed the door, which had a sign on saying, "Sharlotte." It opened, and I looked about me with interest. There was a little pink table and 2 little pink chairs at it with daisies on. The walls were painted a very pale purple, and there was a small, beautiful mirror on it with a golden frame. Then I ran out of my little house. "Thank you, Daddy," I cried out with joy. "Did you really make it?" "Oh yes," said Daddy. "I made the house and the boys painted it." "Yes," said Mummy, "and I gave Daddy the mirror to put in it because he asked for one, although I didn't know exactly what he needed it for." I went back into the little house and sat in one of the little pink chairs with daisies on. "I painted that chair," said Hector, popping his head through the window and pointing to the chair I was sitting on. "Me too," said Bernie, popping his head through the window. "No," said Lawrence, popping his head through the window as well. "He actually helped me paint the walls." "Well," I said, "thank you for painting everything." But then everyone wanted to come in, and everyone did come in. It was such a squish. "My house is a squash and a squeeze," I cried, and told everyone to go back out. Everyone went out except for Ned. You can never get him to do things that you want, especially if it's something like little houses like mine. But it was fine with just Ned and me in my house. It really isn't that much of a squish with 2 people in my house. But we did not stay in my house for long because it was dinner time. So I went out. "Come on," I told Ned. "It's dinner time." But Ned would not even budge. He just did not come. "Come on, Ned," I said, but still he would not come. I tried picking him up, but he just started screaming and screaming. Now, by this time, everyone had gone into the house, and it was just me, trying my hardest to get Ned out, but he just screamed if I tried to pick him up. "Oh, Ned, it's dinner time and we're going to be late and our dinner will be getting cold. Please, Ned, you can go in my house tomorrow if you like, but please do just get out now." I picked him up, and he screamed and screamed and kicked and kicked. I carried him out of my house and put him down, then I shut the door as quickly as I could. It was now terribly windy, and I just wanted to be in my nice, cosy home and have dinner. And though he just screamed and kicked about because he didn't want to leave my house, I was sure that Ned had a feeling inside him that he wanted to be home inside and have dinner. I was cold, and I only had my party dress on. I took my cardigan off in the house. It was dark too. I ran with Ned in my arms, and at last we got to the house. It really wasn't that long to get home. We only had to go through the garden that we grow things in. I had to be careful not to tread on the flower beds. And then through a gate and through the front garden. Then we were at our house. But it did seem like a long way in the dark. And the wind too. So straight away, when I got back to the house, I put Ned down, who was still screaming, and opened the door. I don't think anyone had realised that Ned and I had not been in the house, because no one was whistling about getting worried about where we were. And I don't think that we were late for dinner either, because Mummy was just putting a dish of nice warm pork on the table, along with a nice dish of cauliflower cheese. A nice big dish of cauliflower cheese. And Daddy and Eve were in the library, reading happily. And there were happy noises coming up from the playroom. Then the bell rang for dinner. So I stood at the table with everyone else, and I got to light the candles because it was my birthday. We said grace and sat down to our lovely dinner. When dinner was over, we all got our pyjamas on. I put my nice new dress at the end of my bed for tomorrow. Then we all went into the library and did quiet reading, with a large piece of dark chocolate and a cup of nice warm tea. And it was very glad to be back at home, snuggling up on the sofa, with everyone in the room and not out in the cold. When we had done quiet reading and prayer, we went upstairs and snuggled up in bed. "Good night, my lovely birthday girl," said Mummy, tucking me up in bed. "Good night, Mummy," I said. We all prayed Angel of God, and soon I had fallen asleep. The end.